everybody, and welcome to the New Strength Sugar Babes show. Today we've got Kirsty. She's a mum to one boy who's 8. She's married and she's a paramedic, so she does shift work, and we were just discussing how really stressful shift work is on your body. But regardless of that, she's come into the program. She's been here nearly 12 months and she's down 10 kilos, just about 10 kilos, and she's seen some incredible improvements, and she's just got a really good attitude, and she's made it work for her. But tell the viewers why you joined the program. What were the issues that you were having and how are they affecting your life?
I think more than anything else, it was consistency in my life. The fact that I would drop 5-10 kilos based on completely restricting my food, restricting my attitude, my mood, everything got restricted. I had trainers that didn't understand my job, didn't understand my shift work. For example, I think one thing that really threw me more than anything else was one trainer told me that I had to reduce my stress in my life to reduce my cortisol, and that was my problem. And as you can appreciate, being a frontline worker, that is physically not possible. And also too, the fact that I would restrict so much, I would reduce my carbs, I didn't even know what yogurt tasted like until I joined this program, because I hadn't touched yogurt in 3-4 years. Something that I love, but I was told that, if you wanted to drop weight, you had to reduce your carbs, you had to reduce fruit, eat vegetables, eat a lot of nuts. Basically I just had enough of that up and down motion of restricting, binging, and then binging some more. So there was a lot of reasons for me, and the fact that I had hit 42, and I've never ever wanted to be skinny. I just wanted someone to look at me and go, shit, you're fit. And that's what I've always wanted. I'm 6'3" and built like a brick shit house. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to be a size 10. And for a long time, I realized I didn't really want to be a size 10. I wanted to be that person that goes, oh my God, are you sure you're 42? And it's things like that. And I think it affects you physically and mentally as well. And I think it was causing me a lot of anxiety, a lot of disappointment. And at some days it would just depress me because I was working my ass off at the gym and my muscle mass wasn't even showing that I went to the gym 2 days a week, let alone 6 or 7. So I had a lot of reasons to join. And when, as I said to you before, just watching your attitude, yours and Craig's, just the fact that you're so down to earth, and the fact that you were willing to give us the tools but not baby feed us as well. Because I think that's another problem too, because a lot of trainers do baby feed you. They tell you what to eat, they tell you what not to eat, and then they tell you how many times a day you've got to train, and if you don't, you fail. And it's massive. I looked at you guys for a couple of months. I literally stalked you for 2 or 3 months, and then I just thought one night, you know what, I've got to try it. So that's pretty much where I was at. I was literally at 41. I was at my wit's end.
So, and what are the diets? Had you tried just the low carb, low sugar?
Where do I start? High protein, no carb, low carb. I think Weight Watchers, Jeannie Craig. I think the one that absolutely blew my mind was the keto diet. I don't think I used my bowels for 3 days in that keto program. I went into ketosis, but I also got massively depressed as well. Like, it really shot me down. That was probably one of the worst ones I ever did. And that was also my clincher as well, when I started looking at what you guys were doing and how you were doing it.
Oh God, it's misery, isn't it? Like being on that low carb, no sugar.
And not seeing the results makes it 1,000 times worse. But I was seeing results within the first couple of months. I mean, I was lucky. Not every woman would see 1 kilo or 2 drop. But that's where your perception and your attitude has to change, because you go, oh shit, I can see a bit of muscle in my arm, but I'm still the same weight. So, and then, as you know, I mean, I've heard you talk about it a lot of times that, you know, a lot of people watch the scales, and still I do find myself watching the scales sometimes, but again, it's that mindset where we've got to slowly change our process, our thought process, as well as we change our food and our attitude and our opinions on basically being healthy. And being a shift worker makes it really hard.
Oh yeah, and I've done shift work, like I said, and it's, you don't like the night shift is just so taxing. And I think a lot of women, you know, look at our program, nurses, you know, people like you, paramedics, who wonder, oh, can I do this program being a shift worker? And I actually started this working with Emma when I was working in mining. So I actually started as a shift worker.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, it helped me so much because I just coping with the stress of the night shift and eating the sugar and, you know, help me sleep. So no, that's awesome. So let's talk about your results so far. So you're down 10 kilos and you're eating, I think you said 2,500 calories, which is just incredible. Training 3 days a week. What other results have you noticed since joining?
Strangely enough, I get a lot of comments about my hair and give or take the greys, but we won't discuss that. My skin, and that was when I said to you, like, a couple of my colleagues had actually said, why is your skin so good? Also, like, as I said, hair, I think going to the toilet every day, that's been a little bit up and down for me, but that was playing and practicing with my food and that kind of stuff. My energy levels, my focus at work as well as at home. And more than anything else, the training at the gym, not having to train 5 days a week, all on my days off. So I used to do my 2 day shifts as my days off. So I would work, I would train, and then I would go back to work again, and they would be my days off. Crazy. But the fact that we're only training, 3 to 4 days, give or take, whatever I can. Sometimes I have to play with that a little bit. Sometimes I'll do 2, but then I'll do 4. So that's only because I just balance it in my, 4 on 5 off. But being a shift worker, it does scare you because you think, how am I supposed to manage this? Because a lot of trainers do say you can't eat after 12, but I'm awake for another 7 hours, dude. Like, what's the go with that? So, but again, that's just you going at 2 a.m., I'm going to need some food. So I'm going to eat some food. And so, and now, sort of more than anything else other than the weight, my arms are a different shape. Like, I've got like muscle. You can actually physically see it now. Whereas I was like, I can lift, but why don't I have muscle? My legs are completely changing shape. And I love standing there looking, going, oh, there's another line. So probably my legs and my arms are probably the biggest picture for me, as well as my skin and my hair.
Amazing. You must have so much more energy too.
I do, admittedly, doing the shift work, you are a little bit up and down. Like, one shift will smack you around a bit more.
How did you cope before though? Like, doing what you were doing and trying to do the shift work, it would have killed you.
Resorted to binging.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m. I literally would resort to, having Diet Coke and some chocolate and some lollies and that kind of stuff. At work, your co-workers can really affect that as well. During the isolation, a lot of people were bringing in and donating food to the station. I just avoid the kitchen and the table because that was really, really hard. And also, my watch is just telling me something. And also, like even the person that you're in the car with, they are pretty much, they turn into your work wife, your work husband, because you're with them all the time. So what they eat is can be a little bit conflicting as well, because you're tempted a lot. But the people on my station these days who I work with, they either don't offer it to me because they know I'm going to say no, or they just know I'm not going to eat it, or they start eating the way I do. So that works out really well.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice, all the people bringing food in?
I know.
The paramedics. It's so nice.
Yeah, Subway and all that kind of stuff. And people were like, the restaurants were dropping in food, but then all of a sudden Krispy Kreme started dropping stuff in. So I just stopped going to the kitchen.
And have you, I think a lot of women, like you just spoke about, they're big binge eaters. Since being in the program, has that been a problem, binge eating?
No, I haven't binged, but I have fucked up. Like, I'm not perfect.
No one is.
I think what Mel likes the most when I check in is I make myself accountable every day. So if I've had a glass of wine, I say I've had a glass of wine, but I also tell her the repercussions as well. So I'll either have bloating or something like that. And I'm pretty much straight 180 when it comes to that. I'm not very good at lying. So I do. And I'll say to the ladies, you will botch up. But the one thing I probably have learned specifically from you, Kitty, is the statement failing forward.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So I had a couple of weeks ago, had this craving for lasagna. I do not know why. I think we were talking about food. I love food.
Who doesn't love a good lasagna? I mean,
I know, right? So made it at home, made it as clean as possible. But the pasta, holy shit. 3 days, abdo distension, bloating, didn't move my bowels. And I told Mel, and Mel's just like, fail forward, sister. Like, now you know that it's not thing for you. So I just want people to know that I'm not perfect. All the ladies in this are not perfect. We do have days. Like, I've eaten chocolate. I've eaten, a biscuit here and there. But the thing is, I know I'm going to work hard on my days off. I know I'm going to be back to normal the next day with my food. And I just take it in my stride because I'm nowhere near perfect. And I think that's what we all need to understand.
Totally. And look, you still got amazing results.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the key. It's like you've got to just go embrace those little times and just keep going. And that like imperfect action is what gets you to your goal instead of going, oh, I fucked up. I'm just going to revert back or not do anything or, who cares?
Yeah. And if you do feel like more food, like I feel guilty when I have it because I suffer with headaches and that kind of stuff. I think it's a neck issue. But some nights I'll think, I'll have a hot chocolate and I'll have some fudge just to help with the headache. It does sometimes, doesn't others, but I do feel bad because I haven't tracked it. But then I've spoken to the girls and they've said, look, if you think you need a little bit more, just have a little bit more. And I think you did the other night. You were saying that you weren't sleeping well.
Yeah, totally. Because your body's going to tell you. And that's the brilliant thing about when you track, because you can look back and go, because sometimes if I'm, like probably like you're more busy than me, like you might get distracted when you go out on a jog. You can't eat for 5 hours. It's like sometimes you just don't eat enough and you don't realize till you look back.
Yeah.
Then, oh God, shit, I just haven't been eating enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some days, like the other day, I sent my husband a message saying I'm about to lose my mind because it's been 7 hours and 15 minutes since I've eaten last.
Not that I'm counting.
We're doing back-to-back jobs. I almost lost my shit. But at the end of the day, I was like, I can catch up this stuff because I'm starving. Stuck to my meal plan on my shift, and it ended up being fine. But yeah, definitely got hangry in that 7 hours, that's for sure.
Can you imagine going back to eating like 1,500 calories? I'd just die. And
yeah, my average was 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day, and that was basically just protein and very small amounts of carbs. Very small amounts.
It makes me feel sick thinking about it, actually.
It kind of makes me feel a little bit nauseated as well because I don't know if I could ever.
Well, thank God.
Train a lot as well. So my output was more than what I was inputting, and that's how I was losing the weight.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but then you end up just rebounding because you can't sustain it. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good on you. That's so exciting. And Kirsty, when women are coming to join our program, I'm sure you probably had some of these same reservations. They're worried about doing it online. Can you comment about, how have you found doing the program online, the support, the delivery, coaching?
You know what? I won't lie to you. I was really overwhelmed at the start with it, but the help that people like Lexi give you, and also the women on Facebook, they're just fucking amazing. Like, you put up a post saying, I don't know how to do this, and they've answered the question 50 times, but they don't care. And the help that you get, the step-by-steps in the program, like your new website and all that kind of stuff, like my son could follow it. But it does take time because it does take you out of your comfort zone. But at the end of the day, this is what this program is all about. It's about taking you out of your comfort zone and directing you on a path that you need to be on for physically, mentally, emotionally. I always was told what to eat. In this program, you give us all the tools. You literally spoon feed us, but then you say you eat what you want, and these are the suggestions that we're going to make. And I've always had people tell me what to eat, but now I do my own meal plan. So if I think I'm going to have fudge for breakfast, I'm having fudge for breakfast. And you can fiddle around with it. Like during the day, sometimes I might need an extra coffee, but then I just reduce my protein somewhere else. So I think if anyone's got any reservations, it is a bit of a challenge at the start, but once you get used to it, once it's a repetitive thing for you, like it is for me, you literally can do it with your eyes closed, and you don't have to be tech savvy. You've got Lexi who helps you and is available to you near almost 24/7. She's amazing. Like she's answered, text messages from me, at 10 o'clock at night.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, she is. She knows stuff. But I think don't be scared, because it is very easy to understand. It's easy to comprehend. And even if you aren't a gym junkie at the start, it's so easy to understand and comprehend. And once you get into that routine, it will be so easy for you. You'll question why you're worried about it in the first place.
Oh, that's awesome. I know it's like anything new, when you're learning, but then obviously now you're like a pro, you've been doing it. It's part of your life. You know how to, about what food works for your body, you know how to do meal plans, And I think that's the value. It really does.
Yeah.
Disciplined with it initially, it does set you free eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get confused with some stuff, but I know that I can either jump onto Facebook or I can jump on Slack. And once you've set up Slack, it does all the work for you. It does. So does Recomposer. It's just about setting. It's a little bit of hard work at the start, but you're so determined to change, what you're doing and how you're doing it, that you do put in that extra effort, and then it just becomes routine.
Totally. And the second one is time. They're worried that they're not going to have time. Now, you're someone who does shift work, so you've got a child. If someone thinks that they don't have time, what would you say to that?
You need to make time, because it's not about anyone else anymore. It's not about someone telling you what to do or what you can't do. It's you've got to want to be able to make that time for yourself. If you want to drop the weight, if you want to keep it off, you pick those 3 days to train. You pick that 5 minutes to do your meal plan. You pick that time to send a message to someone saying, I'm not quite sure how to do it. Everyone's got the time. It's just all about structure. And this is what this program is all about. It's about structure that creates benefits for you, massive benefits.
So true. And money, has it been worth the investment?
I don't even worry about it anymore. Like the money comes out every week or every fortnight or whatever it is. But it doesn't faze me at all, because it is money towards me. I don't spend a great deal of money on myself. And I know for a fact that a lot of women in this in this program don't put money towards themselves because they're too focused on their kids or their family or their mortgage. But if you sit down and budget it and you look at what you can do, there's alternatives in this program. You don't have to go hardcore. You can, do your smaller programs that you've got. But if you want to do it, you'll always find money for your kids' shoes. That is what it is, because we're women who run households, look after kids, but if you're looking at this program, it's time for you to step up and go, this is about me, and you'll find the money.
Oh, awesome. Oh, thanks so much for taking the time out. I really appreciate it. And finally, if a woman is sitting on the fence about joining, what advice would you give her?
Have a look at it. Stalk Kitty like I did. Research your stuff and have a really big think about how much you want it. I was one of those people that went, I've been doing this for 20 years, dropped 5 kilos, gained 10, dropped 2 kilos, gained 5. But if you want to do it and keep it off, I haven't had any issues losing the weight. I haven't had any issues keeping it off. This is probably the one time in my life for almost 12 months now I've kept off 10 kilos. I've thrown out all my fat clothes because I feel I don't need them anymore. If you're sitting on your fence, do the research, talk to the people that can provide you the information, Kitty, Craig, Mel, April, Lexi, everyone. talk to the people on Facebook, and I guarantee you won't look back. You definitely won't.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day, and, you know, hopefully a woman can take some inspiration from this and get off those crazy quick fix diets. And yeah, I mean, it's just so good eating real food again.
Yeah, it's definitely the shift work was a big thing for me. I never found anything that worked with my shift work, but I can guarantee you now, if anyone is a shift worker, you know, nurse, doctor, paramedic, whatever, this program it will work for you as a shift worker. There's so many ways to work around it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'll let you go. I'm going to go and have some coffee and fudge, and I'll chat to you in the program.
All right. Thank you very much. See ya.